Conservation Commission. And first, we'll have the approval of the minutes of the prior meeting of October 20th. You have a second motion?
Second.
I don't guess it's okay. So moved. We get right to the financial matters.
I don't have it here unless he's got it.
Hi, Carol. I was locked out of finance today. They left a little early and I wasn't able to grab this month's budget.
Okay, we don't have one.
Okay, we don't have it. Okay. As far as we move right to the correspondence then, I guess anybody have any questions as far as the correspondence that we've received from the conservation officer? If not, we'll move right on to the incoming mail is all set on that part of it. Outgoing mail is conservation, wetland, CA, survey, whatever enforcement. Okay, so get on to the old business here. Might as well go right to the officer's report. And then we move on. I know it's listed there as far as the P and Z that we're gonna be going to that, their first subdivision regulation revision. But I think if we cover the officer's report first, then we'll have all the rest of the evening to take care of that, but that probably will take a lot more time than what we're gonna have. Does anybody object to that? If not, then you can give us your report, please.
Yes. We have no new development proposals, none currently outstanding. We did hire Heather to be our recording secretary. She does this for Economic Development Commission and Recreation also. We have, in response to some of the emails that I've sent out about bluebird nesting boxes to the past recipients, we've got a total of 6 residents requesting 8 boxes altogether, and I've added them to a future distribution list. We don't have any new installation photographs, which I requested in the mass email. But people say they hope to take pictures when the birds return. Onto the MS4 compliance, there's a lot of parts in it. I still haven't had an opportunity to pick the brains of everybody, including the town planner, wetlands agent, and public works on how to achieve MS4 compliance. Moving on to the past website. The website still continues to send us, the company continues to send us an auto renewal notification, but Amy was able to remove our payment information from their system. And we believe that the service will terminate itself. And we're gonna verify that with finance. But the notification on Verio said they would keep trying to bill us throughout the month. Moving on, Club 2087, the former Knights of Columbus, reached out to us, or reached out to Judy, and we reached back out to them in regards to stewardship opportunities. And I enclosed a letter, the most recent correspondence from Mr. Dorsey, and some of the materials you have. But he invited us to their monthly meeting, which occurs on the 3rd Wednesday of every month at the Old Knights of Columbus in the back room. But they are still forming their nonprofit. I don't believe they've fully incorporated as yet. I've also reached back out to Wes Howard of Marianapolis Prep, the Director of Sustainability, asking if they could coordinate as volunteer work in some kind of scientific project rather than a simple cleanup. But the type of work we suggested to Mr. Dorsey for the Stewards of the French River is maintaining the North Governor Pond trails as they were previously, and we would brainstorm on further projects. The next item, we've been getting a lot of neighbor feuds or people wanting to see what we have for mapping to prove one case versus another. And a lot of these, it would be helpful if we had accurate street view information in the the AppGeo mapping software that the town uses. I don't know what the nature of updates are for this software in our contract, but there's large sections of town with decades old street photography and some areas of town that have no coverage at all. And it's kind of tough to we have to go out and see it and then take pictures. It'd be helpful if that feature was up to date. Moving to the West Thompson Lake Master Plan. Today, we received in the mail a request for comments from the Army Corps of Engineer about their master plan update for the dam. It's not supposed to be a significant change. These are identified as administrative, no changes to management actions, new facilities, or land classifications. But they want 30 days, they want comments within 30 days of the letter. And I figure we can come up with some ideas. And after having a look at the link that's provided in on the handout I gave you. But I haven't had time to read through the master plan. It's an 80-page document, but I look forward to reading it and providing comment. And the last item in that conservation agent report was regarding the subdivision regulations. The revision, a rough draft of the revisions has been put out for comment from the town planner, and that comment period is open till January 31st of 2022. I did provide a bulky printout copy of the 80 pages, but there's a link online in the last email I sent if you would like the digital version. And that is all I have in this month's report. There are activities that didn't make it into the report, mostly related to the taking of wetlands complaints. There's a lot of traffic in the office for wetlands. And when the conservation officer, the wetlands agent is not in the office, I'm the one speaking to the person there about a wetlands matter. I've been reviewing our conservation easement list and been preparing an outreach letter to send to homeowners with conservation easement properties it's kind of in the model of what Carolyn had, to try to get some reviews of these properties scheduled for the new year. Probably before I start getting those back in, I'm going to do the easy ones that are the town-owned properties and easier to access. And that is all I have in top of my head for right now. If anybody had any questions about those matters.
On your map, geo information, where will you be going for your information? For people at Yukon or?
I believe that's put on by the COG. So Northeastern Connecticut Council of Government. Everywhere else I've used this type of MapGeo software. It's been it's been organized for the town's use through the COG. My first step though is the assessor, and sometimes a person in that role is kind of the front lines of the data that goes into using this software. So they probably have a more direct communication with whoever would be servicing this type of application. but I believe it's through the Northeastern Connecticut Council of Government. The state does its flyovers, depending on if they're trying for a seasonal set. And I've been informed in regards to other towns that there was going to be a Connecticut flyover in spring 2022, and that we might have a 2022 map, but that doesn't cover the street view. And I've seen elsewhere that a street view in an AppGeo software is sometimes more accurate than what you would find if you Googled and did the Google Street View. And I'm wondering if that's, if we can get updates. And but my first step will probably be with Paul in the assessor's office to see if where he's been involved on that in the past, and see if he knows who to tell me to talk to.
Have you looked at the West Thompson Lake Master Plan at all? What, does it go into detail? Does it have a responsibility for the town? You know? You
This
don't
letter,
have-
I haven't been able to go through the document yet. This letter came today to both the wetlands agent and I. Each got a separate letter asking for comment. I believe probably all the pertinent commissions, land use commissions, received the letter. But I can call that up on my
All right,
monitor.
report on that later after you read it. So,
Okay.
okay.
I'll send a letter, email out in the interim, what, my thoughts and ideas after reading it to the commission members, and we should compile them if anybody else has additional comments into the formal comment that we submit to them. But I believe there's ample opportunity if to put any suggestion into our comment. So we should take it.
You all set with that one?
Am I all set?
Okay. Is he all finished with his report? I don't hear very well. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, I have trouble here, but no, I don't think it matters too much if you bring that up too
I
much
think I
more.
might be able to put it onto the
Try
TV.
to see if they have-
Hey,
Jill,
Dan,
somebody-
I'm just gonna try to switch you over to the TV volume because they're having a hard time hearing my laptop.
Okay.
I'm not sure it's gonna work, but I figured I'd try.
You're all set, right? He's all done?
All right.
Okay.
Try to talk, Dan.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's better.
There we go. I learned something new again. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Welcome.
All right, thank you, Dan. I think we did skip over a few items on the listing here with the correspondence and stuff, but I think one that's noty of at least paying attention a little bit to it would be the email on the bluebird nesting boxes. There a lot of work went into getting those ready. And Bernie had done a lot of work to get that together along with you, working with him, with the fellow Ed, was it Eddie? One of the Eddie boys was doing it for you.
No,
So some of the
Bernie-
comments that
Bernie
came back.
Davis.
Bernie Davis,
Yeah.
yeah. Bernie did all the houses. So is there anything worthy of those that should be mentioned here at this time on those that you're aware of? As far as the bluebird houses?
Dan has sent out information asking people, and he's got orders for 8 nesting boxes already. So I think he's handling that. I don't know how many Bernie has already made. Do you?
I have two. I have a show bottle in the office, and then I have 2 additional that Bernie dropped off. So short 6 on the request.
But he would have them at his house, right?
I do believe so. I think he did have a large batch that didn't go out the last time, and he was constructing more.
We have to thank Bernie for getting all that work. You're doing all that work and get him out there to get them distributed.
Yeah.
I think a lot of folks that have gotten them have really satisfied with them and really appreciative of that fact. So I think it should be noted that he get the attention and get the proper credit for that. All right, I think that basically covers what we've had in here as far as up to the officers' report. I think probably we should move on to this,
Well,
draft that we have here, unless you have one other one that you're doing.
there's two under the old business still.
Oh, okay, you want to get that one there? Okay,
Well-
I haven't made any progress unless Dan had made that progress as far as the Fabian property with the honor roll.
Just kind of coming to a consensus idea that the best fit for the marker would be to move it. To where to, that's the better question. But at least the town would have perpetual access to it if we relocated to a place where we could be around, to maintain it and walk on it without trespassing.
So I think we need to do a little footwork. We'll check with the Fabian Cemetery and we'll check with the people that have been involved. And we'll have further discussion on it at another time, but maybe.
Well, my comment would be on that particular move, as far as finding another home for it, let me just say this. I grew up in that little village there. There's only a small area there, and we have a lot of local people that are involved as far as that honor roll was concerned when it got put together and got replaced. At first, it was just a basic little wooden old honor roll, and then it was converted into the stone one with the brass front. And there's something like 44 names, I believe, that came off the people that actually went to war from that little village, which is kind of astounding as far as I'm concerned. And I think the other comment that I'll make is the fact that it's been there since World War II. And there was a lot of private monies from all the neighbors, basically, that put it together, and the town didn't put any money into it, as far as I know. And there was nothing ever there. And the piece of property where it's on was literally actually assigned for that honor roll from the people that used to live there. They used to run the post office, the Roberts family, Ray Roberts and his wife, and then it became the Pepins that came in command after that with the post office. And they pretty much took care of that. And when it came time for Memorial Day, it just seemed that the neighbors, whoever was around there, always managed to get there and make sure there were flowers, make sure there was peat moss around it, and everything was taken care of with very little, if any help at all from the town. And that was one of those projects. It was just a given that's what was taken care of. So before we move forward, I would think there's some research that needs to be done. First of all, if the people that have it there, whether they're objecting to it, that's what I would say first. And then the second part is you'd have to check with the cemetery people there. And I think Kirsten Forrest is the one that's in charge of that. She takes care of that for the New Boston Cemetery. And I think she would be the person that we would have to contact, whether we're going to, if there's space in there, and where would they want to allocate the space for that particular honor roll. And the other thing, as far as having a visibility for that honor roll, is that the place where it would be a best place for it? I think we'd have to look for the best location, and I think probably some input from some of the neighbors will probably come into play as far as that's concerned, considering the fact that they've been taken care of for the last over 50 years. So I think that would be out of decency to at least consult with them. We have no interest as far as the real estate is concerned, where it's positioned, but I think, and I haven't had the chance to be honest about it, and Pete was volunteered to go and check it out, and maybe he will still. If we do that, check with the people that own the property, and I see whether there's an issue with that or not, and whether or not, and I just casually would like to read, what would be the main reason for having it moved from that location after being there for so many years? I mean, what would be the advantage of moving it as opposed to leaving it there? That would be my big question. I think some of the neighbors that have been taking care of it for all these years would have their same question. So, I don't think you'd make a fast move on it. There's a few parties that have been really instrumental in taking care of that, or instrumental in getting it put together to get it there. And I think until they're gone, I think you'd have a pretty hard time trying to get it removed. And I think Norma's pretty well aware of the fact, but I did speak with her about it on the terms about those folks that are involved with it and have been involved with it. So I think we should probably, we can pursue it, check these things out, but I don't think we would have to come back make a formal decision on it.
Do you think there's a,
Be up to the people whose property it's on, whether they like it there or not.
I don't hear too good, I said, did you say?
I said, wouldn't it be the people who own it now It's whether they object or don't like it there. I mean, this is gonna happen
Well-
every time somebody buys that.
Let me say this, these are about the third owners on that piece of property where that honor roll is sitting in the front, there's only like the island piece in the front. And the people that own it now literally took care of it for the last 2 years, and I tried to get down there, they've been taking care of it, put the peat moss, put the flowers in it, did everything to take care of it, and made it really presentable for Memorial Day.
Oh, that's nice.
On the financial side, I did try to give some, help them out with the finance a little bit, through some third parties there, because I didn't want to make it look like I was trying to embarrass them. And the fact that I grew up in a town, it's my little village there, I said, I don't want to insult people for not doing it, so I try to get them some cash, but they refuse that even. So I think we need to do a little research on it. And then
Have you met the people that own it now?
No, but I'll tell you, they were stuck in the yard one day when it was a snowstorm and I happened to be going by with my plow and I didn't even stop to say hello to them because everybody was busy. They were busy. They were on their way to go somewhere. I just cleaned them out so they could get out and I just went on and I waved to them and I went on my way. And I wanted to get back. My intent was to go back and speak with them, but I never did. But anyway, that's where we have a date. I would think if they've been taking care of it to this level, that they're nice people and I think they'd want it there. But we can check with them. And I think they would probably be even willing to give us the easement that we're looking for. And that would eliminate the problem of having to go to the cemetery. Where at least here, it's amazing how many people just driving by out of town will stop there, like old veterans that drive through that have come through the area, because they do go to Woodstock from different parts. And they'll stop in front of it on the side there, they'll get out and look and read the names on it. I was surprised when I saw that happening myself, but I guess it does happen.
Okay,
Okay.
so we've been talking about this quite a while. Would
Right.
you make a special effort to go and visit that, or do you
Yeah,
wish for someone else to do
Yeah,
it?
Pete, between Pete and I, we'll make sure we get there.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the monkey on your back, Pete. Okay,
Okay, Pete will be after you, I know Pete.
okay, that's all right. Not that I need somebody to hold my hand, because I just been on straight, but that's quite all right. I appreciate his help. Okay, so I think that pretty much takes care of that one. Is there
Okay,
any
the next thing is, the neglected
cemetery
cemetery.
grant?
grant.
Can you want to fill us in on what happened with that?
Yes. We have to fill out a form. It was a 2-year grant for the Wilsonville Cemetery that was in real bad shape. It's probably, 3/4 done or more. I've had a man working at it. The bill, we're allowed 2 bills. One bill is coming in and it has to be filled out. Dan and Amy's gonna sign it. I don't know if she knows it yet, but. So the first bill will be paid and the grant goes till 2022. So the second payment will be when he finishes. So he's with help from Peter and a little from Colin and, most of, not many, there's probably 40 more stones to be uprighted and fixed. The neighbor has a lot of trees that are hanging over. We've had some of them cut, but I haven't been to their door. But it would be nice if they would cut some of their trees that are hanging over. And I haven't got to that yet. But I've had a man who had to do some community service. And he has put in over 50 hours. And he finished his work yesterday. He's done a little bit of stone wall work, cut a lot of the weed that winds around the trees.
The vines?
Oh,
or-
the
vines.
The vines.
And has, he actually bought his own, a leaf blower. And it's been all, the leaves have all been blown out of it. The town has furnished the chip stone to put around the cemetery stones. And, the glue and whatever will be paid for through the grant. And this should be finished by late next summer. So things are going well on that. I'm quite pleased with that. Also, my community service fellow had to put in 100 hours. And he has a court date tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And he needs, 13 more hours? And he asked if I couldn't put in that, and I said, no, my name was at risk and I couldn't. I would put in the hours, but I would ask for a second extension because I think he works 12-hour days. He's been trying weekends and whatever. So I said that Thompson together would put in another extension, ask for another extension, whether the court gives it to him or not, I don't know. Actually, this is Thompson Together information, not town information, but for your information, he's doing his community service and he's proud to be doing it for the town. So in a letter, we're going to state that he is proud to be doing something for his community. Whether that'll carry any weight, we'll find out tomorrow in court. But really, that's his responsibility. All I have to do is keep track of his hours and report them. That's what's,
So are you anticipating now with this grant, this one here, it says he has been neglected. So is there another grant that's in place now that will give you sufficient funds to carry out the rest of the mission?
we're looking for grants between Tara and Dan. Dan has had a full plate. But we will be looking for another grant to work on other cemeteries, yes, other neglected cemeteries.
Is that in the same range in terms of dollars, like 3,500 again? Is that where your grant will be coming for us, for the cemetery grant?
This one was 3325 or something.
I think one of the last ones you had was 3,500, if I'm not mistaken.
33,
33, or in that neighborhood between
Yeah.
3 and 3,500.
Yes.
So are you anticipating another 3,000 to 3,500 to come so you can take care of the work?
I don't know what OPM is going to offer.
Okay.
Some of the grants I've had in the past have come from the Last Green Valley, but they didn't offer one this year.
Probably grab what you can get, and that's where you're gonna operate until he's.
They're looking, and I'll
Right.
probably get Judy to look for me too.
You do the best you can with it. It's a lot of work to try to just get in line with it to get what you need. To
Yes,
get the job done for you. The work is the cemetery's been neglected for so long that there's a lot of money that needs to be done just to bring them back in.
yes.
Um,
I did visit, a man, at the Bates Cemetery that's in Bonnet Acres. There's a huge Bates stone that's probably 4 feet in the bottom, 4 feet square, and 12, 15 feet tall. It's a big
Yeah.
stone. And there's a huge pine tree that's looking at it, saying, I can fall down on you. So I met with the neighbor, and he didn't think he owned it. And then we looked at the map again, and I said, well, there's another 20 feet added, but I said, I think this is the 20 feet on this side. I said, I think you own that side. And he looked at the map again, and he says, I think I do too. So he said he would look into taking that, especially that tree there's a few pine trees, but there's one especially that should come down. So I am working with the neighbors see what they can do to help.
Okay.
End of my cemetery turn.
Okay, I think that pretty much covers it down the end there now, right? Yeah, satisfied
any
with
new
that, to be able to
business?
address it? Well, the new business there,
Okay.
the Citizens Committee, can we,
Okay,
we're gonna
okay,
need that? No.
so, yep, you're planning and.
All right, we should probably next move on to the draft here and start reviewing that draft, because out of the 80, I didn't get a chance to really look, but I did see a few pages in it that had some highlighting. Are those the areas that we really need to concentrate on? Gonna start taking a peek here and see if we can get this thing going here.
Dan, you got comments on that?
Not yet. This is also new to me.
Then who made the comments?
Well, I think planning and zoning, some of them seem like they might be Kira's, and Janet Blanchett had a number of comments in here.
Okay, we can't take the time to read 84 pages here, but I think there's some highlighted areas that are in here. And this is like the comrade on page 8, I see the first marking that's in here. Push a petition, it'd be assumed to be the specific legal process, there's a waiver request instead.
Are we gonna compile our comments and pass them on to Dan? Is that how we want to do that? And then he can submit them back to Kira? Is that the plan, or?
That's kind of what I was thinking, to go line by line through this in a meeting, probably not the best.
Right,
I was gonna suggest that we probably take this draft home, take a look at it, and then see if we can come back with some prepared statements in order to deal with this, because the short time that I did spend on the computer, when I did see it on with the email, I did have a few there, a lot of them were highlighted, and some of the ones were basically just changes for one word, going from 1 week to that there. And it's
Yeah.
basically a technical point. So as far as taking a radical change in terms of this whole draft here, I'm not sure where they are, to be honest about it, because I didn't do everything right down, read every piece of it. But I did review the draft back last November before it got passed in 2020. That's when it was passed, I believe, if I'm right. And there were some changes there that were made, and of course, a lot of the changes didn't meet with a lot of approval with a lot of folks that I spoke to. So what
That was the zoning regulations. This is the subdivision regulation.
we should read it
Which
over.
will coincide. Currently, the subdivision regulations are in opposition to the zoning regulations. There's some points, so this is the revised draft for the new subdivision regulation. So, am I correct with that, Dan?
This is
I believe so. That
Sub-
sounds
yeah.
right to me, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so what's our function then here to do this job?
To make comments
Just make a comment
on
and look at
various
it.
things that might apply to conservation, such as when someone builds a development, a subdivision, they usually have to donate a certain amount of land for open space. So I would think that's how this would apply to conservation.
Yeah. Basically, what you're talking about, you see whether business days are real days, that's not up to figure that out. Sure they can work that out. All right, well, we'll work it out. Make
Yeah,
a comment.
read
Mar-
it through.
Marla Butts had wanted to sit with me and we'll talk about her concerns, and they were related to the lot sizes and slopes, but I'm not sure what specifically her concerns were. But I plan to sit with our wetlands agent and get her take on these, and hope to pool them with the ideas that come from the commission. But I wanted to add this to the agenda just to get the ball rolling on this, to make sure that we've had ample time to review it and provide comments before the close of the comment period. I believe these regulations were initially drafted with Carolyn's input. And like Phil said, a lot of these are replacing words in certain sections. It appears that a lot of these edits, they've gone through the minutia, and now they're just doing making sure all the references line up. But I want the commission to make sure that this was the vision that Carolyn had input on, and this is where, or we provide comment that it isn't where it isn't. But we do have a little bit of time. I just wanted to get this started.
How much time do we have?
January 31st is the close of the comment period.
We'll have a couple meetings in between.
Yeah. Well, Viola, because you just made a comment and he just made another comment. So what I'm thinking is, if we're in the process of reviewing this whole draft, which is at length is what it is, we can make the comments that are relative as far as conservation is concerned. And then if we have some issues in it and there's talk about changing lot sizes, and some of them have been changed, and there have been some changes as far as the different districts that have been set up within the P and Z back in 2020. And as far as lot size on a commercial side as well as on a residential side, I think it wouldn't hurt for us to make a comment based on our information that we receive, and we have contact with other people that we deal with. I mean, I've had people that deal with me, and they've made comments about some of the changes. They say, well, geez, how come they did this? And I'm not going to get into the details as far as the Second Amendment, because that's not what we're here for. But I think if we're reviewing this, and if we're going to take the time to review it, I don't think it would hurt any if we would actually just put our opinion in it if you want, or whatever change we think would be the best interest of the town and also for the conservation itself. I think that would be, it would behoove us to do that. So other than that, as far as the draft goes, I think there's a lot to work with in here, and I think it's a little bit of easy reading, but some of it can become complex because a lot of this is overlying. We have to make reference back to another article, another amendment, a different setup altogether. So I think in reviewing this here, it will take a few rainy nights, and if we get some snow, maybe use it when it snows. But I think we should review it on that basis. And if you have a comment to make about whatever you see in there, if you don't like it, or if you've got a better suggestion, I think they would probably appreciate that as well. So I think what Dan has just said, and I agree with what you say there, probably the best thing to do is take this home with us and review it. And then if you have any questions at the next meeting, hopefully we'll be a little better prepared to make some comment, because I think at this point, I think it would be an exercise of futility to try to get something out of it tonight
Right.
from all of us, because I'm not prepared, and I'm sure just about everybody will be on the same level, not unless they've already worked on it before. Probably Judy, probably the only one that's really familiar with it, because she's in this business. You know, Judy, so I'm giving you the credit. That's what I think. So if anybody else has a comment about it, might as well
Judy,
just,
you got any comments on it, Judy?
yeah.
What's your version?
I had a page and a half of comments.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, should we send our comments to Dan before the next meeting so that he can compile them and then share them with everyone? Or, bless you, what do you think the best way to set ourselves up for discussion at next month's meeting would be?
You know,
I think it's best to compile the comments as they come in. And you could email them to me. We could talk about them at the next meeting, and then we could decide on which ones we would want to forward on to planning and zoning.
Okay,
So that we'll forward our comments to Dan. We'll forward our comments to Dan.
yeah, we can do that if you want to. Wait till the next meeting. We've got 2 months to go, and just you can rehash them. And all that, if you have any questions on what their interpretation is or anything, you'll have an answer. It
Yeah.
should be right here at the meeting. So I think it might be even behoove you, rather you spend time trying to send him all this information. By the time you write it up, you take 2 evenings, you'll make 3 comments, and he won't understand half of what you said. So I think it'd be a lot more effective if we just make our comments, present them to Dan at the next meeting, whatever we have. And I think move forward from that basis, and we still got another month to move forward if we need it, to get some clarity into what our views are. I think that's only my opinion. If you have a different opinion, by all means, express.
Dan, would it be advantageous if we emailed them to ahead of time? And then we'd be prepared to discuss them? At least you'd know where we're coming from before you hit it cold turkey at the meeting?
I think at the next meeting, I should present to you all the comments that members have submitted you know, on a one pager or as Judy has a few pages probably. But, so we have them in front of them and we could kind of pick the ideas apart if we like then, but, or you could keep them to yourself and bring them out at the next meeting and we'll have it's,
Whatever you feel comfortable at, in other
Yeah.
words, I guess.
and stuff that doesn't come, wouldn't come to me, you know, and by email might come up at the next meeting anyway.
If you get something that's gonna be controversial, you're not sure what it's gonna be, or whether your recommendation would be, by all means, let Dan know, and this way he can prepare for it. That's a good idea. I think that's good. All right, next one we have, you have anybody have any other questions? If not, do you have any questions, Amy? No?
I don't know.
Nothing at all? Okay, that's all right. All right, and we have the citizens' comments now. Anybody have any, we're gonna call you a legal citizen even though you're in command here. It's okay. You have any comments to make for us? If not,
None at all.
thank you. Okay, so the next will be any of the members have anything for the good of the order? If not, the next announcement will be have a happy Thanksgiving. That's the only one I've got. If someone else has another one, by all means, let us know.
Thank you, you too.
Okay.
I think we're absent a couple members, and maybe some of our homework should be to kind of find out who has a conservation interest and an interest in their town, or who might be beneficial in serving on the committee. Anyone, any comments on that?
What's our full membership? How many?
7.
7? Okay.
Okay.
And we've got what? How many members do we?
6, I guess.
We
Well, we
need
have 4 here now.
There's 5 of us here, plus
five.
Bernie.
Five. Bernie sent
Oh,
his,
did he? Oh, I didn't know that.
that came in today's
Oh, wow. Okay, all right.
email. So we're down 1 or 2?
So we're down 2 then.
Yes.
Okay.
So we need 7, I
Yeah,
believe,
I didn't know
altogether.
that.
We should have 7. You know, we have only 5 here. 1, 2, 3.
So
4.
I know we don't get out as much as we used to with this pandemic going on, but in your thoughts of meeting of people, kind of feel someone out if you think they have an interest in conservation and in doing something for their community.
The commission could also advertise. I've seen this advertised by the Thompson Commission in the past.
We have to dig deep and see if we have any more relatives that are available. This way you can count on them to come to a meeting. All right, that's another detail we'll have to work on, try to increase the membership here. And I
Excuse
guess,
me 1 minute. Do you get people coming in? Do they apply to you if they want to
They
work?
usually put in, they fill out the application, which can be found on the town website. And it gets dropped off to the Board of Selectmen because the commission is appointed. So, yeah, we usually send it on to the chair for your look over, and you give us the thumbs up, we bring it before the Board of Selectmen.
Well, I guess we haven't had anybody asking to be on it.
Nobody's asked to be on conservation, but send them.
How are the other commissions
I
doing?
think EDC might be short 1 or 2.
Who is?
EDC maybe, and I think the rec commission might be short. But-
Short 3.
3? Is that what
3
it
and
is?
2, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you would know.
Yeah, I think
tell
it's-
me when we're ready. Okay. All right, so that takes care of that one. And the next meeting, of course, is December 20th, just before Christmas. No other comments to come before on the floor. We'll adjourn the meeting, and the time is 7:45 if I'm close. Yeah, 7:45. Meeting adjourned.
Oh,
Would you like?
PS, I think it would be nice if we thanked, Bernie
Bernie,
for his input that he's had over the years, and it's been very beneficial as far as I'm concerned. And I think he should be thanked.
Well, that would be nice. And I did speak with Bernie today as well. I spoke with him, I think, before I spoke with you. And I did tell him that he was a valued member of our commission for a good many years. He was here before I got here. He was actually in inland wetlands. And then when we split, that's when he came with us, and the other group went with the inland wetlands group with Judy and all the other folks. So I did tell him, I said, we could use, use someone with your expertise and your knowledge, just like Judy. Nice to have her come back with all her knowledge and her background, so it helps us out here.
Yeah.
But so, answer our questions rather than going to look somewhere else for them. We have them right here. And I said, your presence was basically the same as far as I was concerned. And I said, I wasn't on a lot of these other commissions like you folks were. But anyway, he said he would reconsider down the road if things change where he was comfortable. And he said he would come back and he would speak and probably come back and work with us. So you could send him that thank you note if you wish. I think that would be a good gesture on our part because he has been very helpful in terms of doing the burn houses, a big deal with that. And also in a lot of the other projects that we were working on. He's always been instrumental and we're helping us with those things on a factual side. So I think that a little thank you note would not hurt to go up to Bernie and show him that we did appreciate his presence. And I think it would be a good gesture on our part to keep everything going well and show our appreciation towards him for what he's done for us and for the town. So that's a good thought, I think. And with that,
Do you think it would be beneficial if one of us called him and explained how our meeting was run tonight? Or did he know?
he didn't know that because I didn't know that at the time when I spoke with him. I spoke with him about, before I spoke to you, and that was like 10:30 when I spoke with him. And I didn't hear back from Amy until about 1:30, I think, or 1 o'clock. So I didn't have that information at the time, but I'll be happy to give him a call and let him know what's going on
Mhm.
and see if he feels comfortable at a later date. Let us know or just check in over here and we could hopefully take care of that because I do feel he is a valuable piece for us to have around.
So will you do that?
I take care of that. I'll
Okay,
do
do you
that.
think we need a written letter along with that or just your phone call?
Well, you can decide. It still wouldn't hurt to send him the letter if you did do the work. As far as doing the houses, I think that's the primary goal, primary function that he did primarily earlier. And also the fact that he was with us, so he did expend the time and do it with us. So that would not hurt, even though you thank him for his services. He come back later and he can just add to whatever he's got. I think that would not hurt. So if we could do that, I think that would be a good gesture. Okay? And I think Heather can take care of that, right, Heather? Or do you want us to compose the letter?
I typically,
You can do that. Or do you want us to do it? No, whichever's easiest. I know you're new and you're probably
Well,
not.
Carolyn used to do it for us before.
What's that?
Carolyn used to do it for us before.
Oh.
but-
the thank you letters.
Yeah.
That's true. We have new people here and they're probably not familiar with 100%
I'm
with
just
this.
not as versed into what he has contributed to the commission, so I'd have very little input. I've never met him. I think maybe
Yeah.
somebody that's had more interaction with him would have an easier time or a better
Well,
input
we
to the
can
letter.
put some notes
You could
together
put some
and-
notes together, and Dan, is there conservation letterhead?
Yes.
There is, yeah.
Okay, so even if Norma and Phil put their heads together and come up with some verbiage, we could just slap it on some conservation letterhead, and maybe it'd be nice if the whole entire committee.
Bernie really is an all-star in Thompson land use, and there's a long record that I've been able to glean through going through the office of the projects that he's been involved on, and I'd be happy to. Am I sharing it with Heather or?
I mean, I'm more than welcome to put it together. I just feel like I would not have,
The
just walking
first
in, I
thing,
don't
the
know what
knowledge, yeah.
project he's done or
Yeah.
what he's
We can
contributed.
put the notes together.
Okay, and if anybody has other notes to send to me about that, I could put them together, compile them, and Heather and I will work on a letter together that covers a lot of good bases.
Right, I'm sure you,
He thinks the two, with what we've said tonight, he
Yeah.
thinks the two of them can put it together.
okay,
If you
Good.
want any other comments, give us a call.
Okay,
so you've got my number, I think, haven't you, Dan?
Yeah.
You've got my number.
yes, I do.
Just give me a buzz. If I don't
Okay.
answer right away, I'll always get back to you. I always
Okay.
return a call. I don't leave you hanging. Okay, so I guess that takes care of that, and I guess the adjournment is in effect, it's all set. In the meantime, I'll just say, everybody have a happy holiday, and we'll
Yeah.
talk
Thank you.
together at the next meeting.